What's up? How are you guys doing today? I hope y'all doing well. I'm doing alright. And today I was feeling a little bit nostalgic, so today I'm bringing you my top 10 video games from my childhood I think you should play. Please be aware this is an opinion piece, like pretty much everything I do, so it's not that real. Let's get into this. In my mind, this game should have been what Pokken is in 2003. I expected to be able to play as a Pokemon kicking major ass and evolving, but was met with a gray-haired character with a badass jacket. Even though it wasn't what I expected, I enjoyed it nonetheless on the GameCube. I plugged in countless hours with my Umbreon, wrecking gym leaders left and right. It was one of the most interactive Pokemon games since Hey You Pikachu, and allowed the player to really immerse themselves in the life of Pokemon and their trainers trying to be the very best. As much as I enjoyed this game, I ran into one game-breaking bug that kept me from progressing after the underground level. My screen would go black and the game would become unplayable after the ending cutscene for that level. Though I thoroughly enjoyed it, that shitty bug kept me from being able to finish a big piece of my childhood. Because of this game-breaking bug, I have to place it in the number 10 spot. First off, fuck your bitch in the clicky. Let me stop. First off, fuck you, Peach and Bowser. Please solve that dark abyss that is your heart and find someone else's wifey to collect like tokens, because I am tired of having to play as this goddamn plumber named Mario to save this attention whore. Moving on, so many hours were logged into this game, it's not even funny. I still whip out that bad boy from time to time, and I'm sure most people would say the same. Gamers, most gamers at least, would have this higher on the list. I enjoyed this game, but it just didn't strike me in the fashion that some of the games higher on the list did. I come from an era where I could plug up an NES and just play it whenever I felt like, and I enjoyed pretty much everything about this game, gameplay mechanics wise, but the story was just annoying to me, even as a child, and that's why it's here at number 9. Yo, Bowser, fight me, dog! And Peach, go jump off of a lake cause you just need to drown. Snake! Oh, who doesn't remember the death-curdling screams of your comrades after getting that ass handed to you by some of those blocky-styled guards? Sneaking into number 8 is Metal Gear Solid. The Metal Gear I remember came slithering into the video game scene after a stint on PC in 1998 on my original PlayStation demo disc. After falling in love with the demo, I talked my cousin into giving me his copy because, you know, my mother wouldn't let my black ass play mature games, and I couldn't get enough of this one in particular. Some of my favorite game mechanics was stealth and combat. For a kid that spent a lot of her time playing Mario, the violent takedowns gave me an adrenaline rush Snake would be proud of. You spend a lot of your time trying to liberate two main characters to advance the plot and find out deep secrets about the character himself, but what takes even more time are those goddamn cutscenes. They're a whole Harry Potter book long, okay? Maybe even the series. Either way, the game is fun to play, and as a matter of fact, I'm about to go pick it up right now. Woo! Speaking of sneaky characters, a personal favorite of mine landing on my lucky number is Sly Cooper. I swear I didn't do this intentionally, it was just a very happy accident. This thieving raccoon worked his way into my heart so deep that I bought the most recent installment in 2013, Thieves in Time. Even with its occasional glitches, the storytelling, and particularly smooth protagonist and his team of goofy misfits kept me playing the games into the wee hours of the night. The interactive environments and dialogue don't hurt either. I'm glad to see that the franchise has remained true to the gameplay mechanics and style of storytelling, even with the most recent installment. I look forward to the next one. But Sony, for the love of all that is good and sweet, when you gonna give this franchise the freaking promotion it needs? Thieves in Time, I didn't even know that mess came out until I went into an EB Games trying to buy a new controller, and then I saw that shit. EB Games isn't even in most parts of America. Step your game up. Come on, bruh. Damn. Did I love the damn gun for this game. It was pretty much one of the biggest reasons why me and my cousins crowded around an old Polaroid TV trying to get this piece of digital metal. What gamer hasn't enjoyed the kind of sort of awkward running and shooting mechanics of this classic? One of the best first-person shooters in my opinion is GoldenEye 007, and it rolls right into number 6, where it belongs. Now the reason that this game is on this list is because trying to earn that achievement of that golden gun is fucking ridiculous, especially for a bunch of 7-year-olds that don't know how to play the game. But it was always enjoyable, and there was never a dull moment, especially when the blocky guards just come popping out of nowhere. I mean, you gotta love it. Wolves are kind of my thing. Pretty much why my nickname is the Wolf. But I also have a deep fascination with werewolves. This werewolf superpower side-scroller beat-em-up was one of my favorite old-school games to play. I call it old school because I was born in '94. If anything, this is more Rizzy speed, but once again, werewolves, so duh. The game is set in ancient Greece, and basically you've been created by the gods, specifically Zeus, to save his daughter. The simple enough plot really didn't make a difference to me as a kid, and I really didn't care. The only thing that matters is the gameplay. It was fun, and being a werewolf in a time where there wasn't many werewolf games, it was fresh. That's why Altered Beast is tearing into number 5. Now be mindful, the trailer that is playing is for the 2005 PlayStation 2 version, which I didn't even know was out. I'm talking about the Altered Beast 1988. That's the one I recommend you go check out. I'm gonna check out the 2005 one since I've never played it before. Moving on. This has got to be one of the most infuriating games from my childhood, and one of the most beloved. That ostrich level was so unbelievably hard, my mother took my Game Boy because I was crying like a whimperella. Simba kept falling into the enemies, and it drove me crazy. The love-hate relationship I have with the game doesn't keep me from recognizing the amount of time I spent on it and how great it really is. Every road trip spent with my mother back from basketball games, I would blow the cartridge and put it in my purple Game Boy Advance. This game really made me feel like that if I couldn't get Simba back to Pride Lands, I had failed him and the entire kingdom. Very few games can engross me like that nowadays, and even though I've had several mental breakdowns from it, it doesn't keep me from placing it high on the list at number 4. What can I say? I love a challenge. Wow. What child in the 90s didn't sneak behind their parents' back to play this game? Me and my cousin did, probably more than we should have, but that's besides the point. This game is the perfect balance between vulgar adult jokes and literal shit jokes kids could laugh at uncontrollably. The story and the mechanics to me were probably one of the best and most captivating things about the game. Both were simplistic but enjoyable, and even though the game could be, a little difficult at times, it was still fun to play. Conker's Bad Fur Day made some of my best days, and that's why it's riding a bumblebee into slot number 3. And let's be honest, who doesn't like an occasional shit joke every once in a while? Blinx 2 Masters of Time and Space. This game for a lot of people flies under the radar, but it was literally one of the only games I had to play for my original Xbox. For a woman that doesn't like cats at all, I found myself truly enjoying Blinx. This game had great gameplay mechanics down to the point where you could suck stuff up with your time vacuum, reverse time, and kill an enemy that tried to shave off one of your 9 lives. The game also allows the player to create their own custom cats, which turned out to be more fun than I expected. There is a Blinx 1, but I always have more fun with part 2 because of the customization and multiplayer. And I mean the kind of multiplayer where your friend or your family member or cousin or whatever had to come over to your house and physically sit there and play the game with you. Not this online stuff today, so it brought a nice personal feeling to the game. For this fact, Blinx 2 is sweeping through at number 2 on my list. Originally released in 1998, many kids found a Spyro the Dragon demo on a disc provided with the original PlayStation. This game was literally my life. I owned every sequel for the game all the way up until Nintendo bought the rights to the character. Dawn of the Dragon was easily one of my favorites because the player could actually fly around and had different choices of dragons, but seeing how the original was my root and really had me fall in love with gaming in general, this is easily my number 1 pick. I played all kinds of games, old and new, but for whatever reason, Spyro the Dragon has a special place in my heart. The playstyle was simple and featured a spunky dragon with his extra spunky sidekick. Graphics weren't the best, but as a kid I really didn't care, and still don't to this day. This game was the ultimate definition of fun to me and represented a simpler time that reflected the playstyle. It was one of the first games I was truly in love with and still find a sense of wonder playing. For all this and more, Spyro the Dragon is number 1 on my list. Well, there you have it. 10 classic video games from my childhood you should play. And of course, with comprising any list, I felt like there were other games that belonged here. But it's a top 10, so here you go. Here are some honorable mentions that I think you should check out because they're definitely worth your time. Sonic the Hedgehog, Crash Bandicoot, Resident Evil 2, Okami, and Tomb Raider. Well, there you have it. 10 classic video games from my childhood you should play, plus an additional 5 honorable mentions. And of course, there are other games that just didn't make it to the list just because it's a top 10, like Ratchet & Clank and Jak and Daxter, just to name a couple. Those are some of my favorite games growing up. Let me know in the comment section what some of your lists, what games will be on your list. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And please remember, this is all personal opinion, rated by moi. That's how the games affected me. Let me know how they affected you in the comment section below. And if any of my games are on your top 10 list, please let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and even though the wolf has got a scat, just remember, long live the wolf pack. Arrgh!